Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what super grandmasters play. I mean, the middle game strategies that they use against the Ruy Lopez, and I hope you're going to appreciate. Alright, so e4, e5, then white plays knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, s6 the main line. Bishop takes c6 is the exchange variation, and we already looked at that. E.g., bishop takes c6 may lead to the bishop's version of the fishing pole trap after white castles short, and then you play bishop g4, h3, then you go h5, and if they take, well, lucky you, cause now you can simply mate white on h1 using your queen and not your fingers, e.g. f4, pawn to g3, ensuring that the white king does not escape, so that you can simply mate on h1 after this sequence of moves. But well, instead of playing the fishing pole trap, which everybody seems to know, well, especially in classical matches, tournament games, you can also try to play the line that I'm about to show you here. Let's say if white doesn't take on c6 and they play the main move bishop f4. The move that I'm interested in today is bishop e7. They will castle short, by the way. That's the main line. You go knight f6. Playing simple chess. Here you're just planning to castle short. Again, if they take on c6, you just simply take back with your d pawn. Knight takes e5 doesn't work, even in this position, because we always have knight takes e4 first. Rook e1 won't even pin our knight to our king since we have a bishop on e7. I mean, that is even the reason why we play bishop e7 on move 4 to cover this pin. And so after rook e1, just know that you still have queen d4, which attacks white's knight on e5. By the way, if knight f3, the best we can do is to take on f2 with our queen and then rescue our knight later on, maybe to f6, followed by bishop e6, castle long or castle short. If pawn to d3, counter-attacking your knight, well, just go knight takes f2, which is even better. And I was surprised in one of my games to see my opponent playing queen h5 here. I mean, trying to do something to my f7 pawn. I don't know. The correct move here was supposed to be queen e2 and then allowing me to rescue my knight somehow. I don't know. Anyway, so queen h5 was clearly a blunder, you guys. And there is something here. The game is almost over. This is your puzzle for today, you guys. Leave your answers in the comment section down below and I'll be reading all of them. Alright, let's move on. Instead of white taking on c6, the main line here which we are going to see is rook e1. And the only thing that you need to remember in this position is that we delay castling and play pawn to b5 first. By the way, that's the easiest way to play any chess opening. Don't think of castling early, okay? You can just delay castling. I mean, unless there's just something deadly coming your way. So pawn to b5 makes more sense. They play bishop b3 and that's when you can now castle short because this bishop was eyeballing the weak f7 square or the f7 pawn. And here c3 is what they are going to play, preparing to play pawn to d4. I'm only showing you what people play here, not things coming straight from my mind, by the way. So just go d6 here. If they play d4, don't worry. D takes e5 can be met with your d takes e5 again. If queen takes, you take back with your rook. So that's okay. And here they'll play pawn to h3 just to prevent bishop g4 or knight g4. And you can play in a symmetrical way here. Rook e8, indirectly eyeballing the e4 pawn, and you will see how. So d4, that's what they'll play. Don't be scared about this move. Just go pawn to h6. If they take, you can always take back with your pawn. If they play pawn to d5, knight b8, knight d7, knight f8, and knight g6. This is how your queen's knight is going to move if they play pawn to d5. Anyway, so you will see them playing knight b2 here. A normal developing move. And wait a second. Your position looks very cramped. This dark squared bishop is blocking the vision of your rook on e8. Your queen has got nowhere to go to. Your light squared bishop is not developed. So here is how we start creating a proper position in the middle game. That will give us a chance, okay? The aim is not to win fast anytime soon, but just to have an advantageous position, okay? So we start with bishop f8. Bishop f8 is a really great move because it paves way for our rook and our queen. And let's say they go knight f1. They are also trying to open up their position for their pieces. This queen's knight one day may like to sit on f5. But thanks to this light squared bishop, we'll be able to get rid of that knight. So just remember that bishop d7 is what you play here. They'll play knight g3. And once you run out of moves or ideas, you guys, you start looking for your opponent's most active pieces to chew. So in this position, the first active piece that I can see for white here is this bishop on b3. That's why knight a5 looks very delicious to me. This will force white's pieces to start going backwards, bishop c2. So now it is white's pieces that will start becoming passive, okay? That's how we try to gain an advantage. So that's the lesson here. c5 is what you should play next, a move that Hikaru Nakamura likes to play, by the way. The idea is that if d takes e5, you now take with your d pawn and your queen will sit on c7. Your queen's rook will come to d8. I mean, look at how open your position is just by simply putting your pieces on the most active squares while attacking your opponent's most active pieces. So this is exactly how we play chess, you guys. There's nothing here to memorize but just playing chess. So this is the best way to play against the Ruy Lopez, theoretically speaking. Okay? If they play anything else, try to make use of those cheap traps. Maybe they may fall for them. But this is the Ruy Lopez at its best. Study this system, you guys. It's called the Zaitsev system. Alright, you guys, so this is just about the most important stuffs that you needed to know in the Ruy Lopez or against the Ruy Lopez. And I'm sure these traps that I just showed you will give you much confidence to face the Ruy Lopez. That's the idea. By wanting to try out these traps, you will be learning how to respond against the Ruy Lopez correctly. With these few words, thank you for watching my video and hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.